Well, my dudes, I had decided to create another video. Why, you might ask? I got bored. Again, I was just sitting alone, basking in the loneliness of my apartment. So here we go! As you watch me struggle with this paper, I will explain what my boredom had led to. I wanted to follow a tutorial of the well-known, majestic, and inspirational Bob Ross. The problem was, I didn't own any oil paints, or paintbrushes, or canvases for that matter. I didn't feel like buying them either. Why? Because I'm broke. So this is what we were left to deal with. Soft pastels and a good old classic white piece of paper.
Take a little bit of the Indian yellow.
The colors were not exact, but that was to be expected. I've had a package of the pastels that I had never used before just sitting in my room, and I saw this as the perfect opportunity to use them. Now, this video was just supposed to be a montage of some quick time lapses of the process with some pretty music to match in the background, but instead it had led to whatever this is. A narration, you may call it, I guess. So instead of a peaceful song, you get the dulcet sounds of my voice in your ear as I narrate whatever the heck I'm doing, which right now is scribbling the sky like the child I am. May I just say that the background took the longest. You see here, this is where I ran into a long, never-ending string of continuous problems. First of all, the colors. But forward and onward, we had our second problem, just like that, one right after the other. You see, the paper was hung onto the wall by tape, and the texture of the wall was about as smooth as sandpaper. This had led to the sky to look like a potato skin that had been puked on by a rainbow. I had tried to rub out these cursed chicken pox, but to no avail. They were here to stay. The process was not going as planned. Dare I say it, it was going rough. Just like the wall behind me. Anyways. Another cloud. Another little happy cloud for the mama cloud. We're gonna call that one the mama cloud, and this one's gonna be the baby cloud. These clouds were the next thing I wanted to pick a fight with. They looked nothing like legendary Bob Ross's happy clouds, but instead looked like stretch marks streaked across a person who had a serious case of jaundice.
Cloud. Just by tapping. There he is. There he is. Little cloud, oh, big cloud.
I was not impressed with my efforts. Neither were the clouds. They were not happy, and neither was I. To be honest, the entire process was tedious, but nothing was more annoying than those clouds. I was vexed. I was ready to be done, to quit, to give up, but we labored on.
Now you have to make your first major decision. Where does your mountain live?
Alright, here we go. When I got to the mountains, things had started to go uphill. I'd even say that this part was the peak of my performance. I gained confidence. I felt like I could move mountains. Everything was starting to rock. The only bump on the road was I dropped my pastel, which then broke. But could I be broken? No, never. I am invincible. You can't break me. I continued with the same ferocity as I had before. I could not be stopped. I was determined to finish. I kept rubbing and rubbing and rubbing and rubbing, but alas, the time had come to take a break, and boy had I been leaving a mess. The powder was everywhere. My fingers were blue and my pores were screaming, but it was time to clean up and head to work. During that time, I had managed to lock myself out, but that was about it. Nothing else exciting. Just my keys staring back at me. After I'd gotten my keys, before I knew it, it was time to head home and start the project again. I added more mountains, and I broke some more chalk. It was finally time to move on to the trees. The trees, let's just call it an accomplishment that by the end, they no longer look like they came from the seeds of Charlie Brown's Christmas tree. Yep, that's all I want to say about those scraggly things. We're making happy little bushes. We've passed trees, now we're going on to bushes. You know how a couple of seconds ago I had said we moved on to bushes? Well, that was a lie. The bush had been such an atrocity that I decided to turn it into a tree. So there you have it, 3 thick trees. We were nearing the end, and I'm tired of talking, so we're just going to speed things up as I put in the detail of whatever I'm doing. Yep, look at that little jump. Anyways, somehow I'd managed to give myself a mustache, so that's fun. We did get to the bushes, but they still didn't look like bushes. Overall, even though my picture does not hold a candlelight to Bob Ross's masterpiece, I had fun doing it, and even though it doesn't look spectacular, I think I did alright. It was hard to get to the details with the pastels, but if I were to do oil paints, I feel like it would have been much smoother. If you had somehow managed to stick it to the end with me, I would just like to say a thank you, and that's about it really. Thanks.